Well, hello there, everybody. Week 8 of the high school football season. I would say it's in the books. It's actually not, and I am again coming to you live from the car tonight. It was another long night for me, long game, but I know Plainfield and Whiteland are still playing as we talk now. Whiteland had a power outage. It sounded like down there the lights went out, and our Clark Wade and Rich Torres are both covering the game there tonight. At last check, uh, uh, Plainfield was winning that game, I believe. Let's check here. Actually, Whiteland was up 23-20 with 6:38 left in that game. So Plainfield had the ball. That was about 10 minutes ago. So we'll see what happens with that game. But most of the other games in the books, my game tonight included in that. And it took a while, though. It was a long game tonight and a very good game. Center Grove gets the win. 38-35 over Lawrence North, and a lot of offense in this game. And it came down, Lawrence North had the ball, got the ball after a field goal by Center Grove, put them up. And I'm going through my stats here, so bear with 30-yard field goal by Dallas Cornprobst to put Center Grove ahead with about 3:37 left in the game. So Center Grove, a 3-point lead at that point, decided to go for an onside kick and didn't get it. So that left a short field for Lawrence North, and Isavion Moore ended up scoring a 21-yard run. And I mean, it was saying it was a 21-yard run is not giving enough credit to what he did on that run. He ran about 5 yards straight ahead, spun, and just sprinted to the left corner of the end zone. If there's a better running back in the state right now, I don't know who it is. I mean, he was a phenomenal running back and so fun to watch. Just so many moves he makes and so many things he does that it's almost like he's carrying a joystick out there and just pushing the buttons as he makes his moves. But Isavion ended up he scored that 21-yard run, and then, ends his night with 23 carries for 152 and 3 touchdowns. So another really good game. Again, that's coming off that 309-yard rushing game last week, 6 touchdowns against Warren Central. So another really strong performance. But there was enough time on the clock at that point. So, Center Grove kind of rolled the dice. They went for the onside kick, didn't get it, but, by having the short field, it ends up being a touchdown, pretty, early or enough time left for Center Grove to get the ball back with, I want to say 1:25 after the kickoff return to the 38. They were at the 38-yard line, Center Grove's 38 with 1:25 left, and Center Grove went down, had all 3 timeouts. So they could still run the ball, and they did so efficiently. And also a couple of passes in that mix too. Oscar Sloan ends up not a huge night throwing necessarily. He was 9 for 14 for 98 yards and a touchdown, but did a nice job on that last drive, getting his team set, getting up and hitting a couple completions. And then really the big night for Center Grove, and they're dealing with a lot of injuries at the running back position. But tonight, Jaden Biggerstaff ended up having a huge game, and he had missed the last couple of weeks with a high ankle sprain to his right foot. And didn't know for sure even if he was going to play. But Biggerstaff came in, ends up on the night 270 on the ground on 34 carries and a touchdown. Center Grove got the ball down inside the 3 with about 16 seconds left. And then a substitution. LN had 12 men on the field. And then so Center Grove got the ball basically at like the 1.5-yard line. Lincoln Bright came in and dove over the top for a touchdown. Looked pretty close to being not a touchdown, but he was able to take it in and score. And that left, there was only a handful of seconds left. LN got the ball back, threw ball down the field, but incomplete. And that was it. Or actually intercepted on that last pass by, I believe it was Vinny Hayes intercepted that pass. So that ended the game. And really a great game tonight. Again, it was high scoring, lots of offense. Neither team, I wouldn't say couldn't stop each other. At times they did stop each other, but a lot of offense, a lot of offensive weapons for both these teams. and just a really fun game to watch. It was kind of a, and I'll get into this more in the written story, but kind of a choppy game with penalties, I would say, were, kind of slowing things down a little bit. And, Lawrence North coach Pat Mallory, not real happy with, some of the calls that went against his team. And it was, in fairness, a pretty, it seemed like after every penalty they were huddling up and talking about the penalties. It kind of took the flow out of the game a little bit. But regardless, refereeing's a hard job. I don't want to come on here and bash the referees or anything like that, but it did feel like it kind of lasted a little bit longer than necessary on some of the calls, and just kind of the flow of the game kind of got out of sorts a bit. But again, good game. Center Grove wins it 38-35, and that sends them to 7-1 on the season. Lawrence North drops to 6-2. And I'm going to try to bring on Josh Heron here because he had the other big game tonight, or we thought was going to be a big game tonight. Josh, are you with me?
Hey, Kyle, can you see me? I'm not sideways this time.
Well, thanks for coming on, Josh. You had the Carmel Center Grove game. I only saw Carmel Warren Central game. I only saw the final score, but I did see an earlier tweet of yours, and Carmel looked to be ahead. I think it was 28-7 at the time, but sounds like another impressive performance from the Greyhounds. Tell us what happened tonight.
Yeah, man, Carmel improves to 7-1 tonight with the 42-7 victory over Warren Central. And they pounded the ground hard in this one, man. I think they had 509 total yards, and out of the 509, 315 were rushing. Led by senior running back Andrew Pemberton. He had 25 carries for 169 yards with 2 touchdowns. And they also got some good production from junior Josiah Gilmore. I mean, he came in for Aiden Johnson, who's out with an injury right now. He had 8 carries for 64 yards with 2 touchdowns. So they got good production from their running game. And I like what Coach Wright said after the game. He basically said that, he has a team that has to run the ground because in the Midwest it gets cold sometimes. So they stuck to game plan and executed well.
Well, yeah, that is true. I think obviously his teams over the years have been really strong on the ground, and that's kind of been something he's been known for. But yeah, I was looking through the stats here, Josh. Just looked like total domination, really, from a statistical standpoint. 500 yards of total offense to 171 for Warren, and it was a 35-7 game at halftime. So really, really put the screws to Warren tonight. I saw Warren last week, Josh. Their offense was really good against Lawrence North. I know it's a different defense you're playing, and teams with LN's got a more explosive offense than a strong defensive team. But how did Warren's offense look tonight? I mean, they just weren't able to get much time there.
Yeah, they really weren't. And shout out to Drake Colner, who was a little brother of Carmel's quarterback Anthony Colner. He had 2 picks on the night, and Warren Central really wasn't able to move the chains. I mean, of the few times they got into the red zone, one of the Carmel center backs had a big play there to end the first quarter to break up Jack Quillen's pass. He stepped up in the red zone, fired a pass to his receiver, and cornerback Aaron Fedorcha was right there to break it up. And that was a big play because that would have cut the lead to 14-7 for Warren Central, for Carmel. And Carmel ended up scoring on the very next drive with another Pemberton touchdown. So their defense did what they needed to do tonight to get the 7th win of the year.
This is you haven't been able to cover a whole lot of games yet for us this year, Josh, but your overall thoughts on Carmel's team as you see them tonight. I know it's just a 1-game sample size and obviously a really strong performance overall from them. But what kind of watching them tonight? What were your key takeaways?
Yeah, I think they have one Duke commit there. You may know his name better than myself. He's a 4-star.
Yeah, Dane Badhurst.
Yep. So Coach was talking a bit about him after the game, and one thing he said was like, man, like earlier this year, he came up to Coach or something like that, and told Coach, hey, like a lot of people think we have to practice, but we get to practice, and how that kind of set the tone for the Carmel football team this whole season. They really see it as a privilege to be out there on the football field and are playing for one another. And what stood out to me after the game was Coach Wright said, "Hey, we could still get better. We're still gonna get better." And they're 7-1. So I'm looking forward to see how this team just continues to progress throughout the season, and I'm sure Coach Wright will probably, have another state title under his belt one of these years.
Well,
If not this one.
he's definitely working towards that. He's got a few of them already, and I think really, I mean, you look at this team and you think like there's definitely a chance, and I think maybe at the beginning of the season, without having with him coming back for the first time and not knowing how everything would mesh together, you just didn't know. But I think now through 8 games, it's a pretty good sample size, and they've basically taken on everybody they've played other than Louisville Trinity, which is a top-ranked team out of Kentucky, and handled them pretty much with ease. I mean, they didn't play Center Grove this year, but they will next year. But, so some of the schedule things will change with them going back in the MIC. But really everybody they've played, Westfield included, they've handled. So very impressive. I can't say enough about what they've done this year. I don't know. Did you get a chance to talk to any of the players for Carmel, Josh? What did they have to say?
Yeah, so I spoke to Andrew Pemberton and Josiah Gilmore, the dual running back threats there who had a big game. And they're just talking about how they've been leaning on each other this past year to help each other get better. They're both saying they're more quiet, reserved guys, but how they both pull on each other to be more vocal and things of that nature, and how they really, like I said, Josiah stepped up with Aiden out, and it was Andrew right there to push him to keep going. So that was pretty much the moral of what they were discussing, and just going out there on the field and giving it their all tonight with injuries looming.
Awesome. Well, Josh, I know you probably got some more work to do here, but appreciate you coming on. And I know you're out covering soccer and doing other things too. So I know this is a little bit extra to do, but I appreciate you doing it, man.
Hey, no worries. Hey, Carmel girls soccer, they play Westfield tomorrow evening. Make sure you guys.
Where are they playing?
In. They're playing at Zionsville. Zionsville hosts a sectional.
There you go. Well, Josh is all over it. Give him a follow if you and say hello to him if you're out and about, and see him out covering stuff. He's doing a great job for us at IndyStar, and look forward to talking to you soon, Josh.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, Kyle. Take care. Good night, everyone.
All right, man. We'll see you.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks again to Josh for coming on. He was covering, like you said, the Carmel Warren Central game, 42-7, and just really a strong performance, really all throughout this season for this Carmel team, and they just seem to get better and better every week, which is kind of what it's all about, and what Kevin Wright's done with that program so far. So just another impressive game for them. Going through some of the other, and I think Rich probably, I'm guessing, is probably not going to be able to join us tonight because he had the Whiteland Plainfield game, which may still be ongoing. I haven't seen a final on that one just yet, but might be coming down to the wire. Might be coming down to the wire there at Whiteland tonight. So, but yeah, so wanted to go through some of the other games tonight. Like I said, my game was a good one. 38-35. Center Grove wins it over Lawrence North. And also wanted to mention too, the sectional draw comes out Sunday at 6 p.m. IHSAA TV. You can watch it there, and then I'll have a reaction to it. Probably will do a video from that as well. Probably a live video that night, and maybe have some guests on talking about things about the draw. So it's always fun. I mean, I think we talk a lot of times about seeding, and I'm a proponent of feeling like there should be some sort of seeding mechanism to high school football, at least. I'm less, I feel less strong, I would say, about other sports or even basketball, but I think football, there's a real way to do it that makes a lot of sense. I'm not going to get into all that now because I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. But I do think that the draw is still fun. I mean, it's a lot of fun to find out where teams are playing, what their route is, kind of what the what the situation looks like for every team, who got the good draws, who didn't, that sort of thing. So, yeah, so look for that Sunday night, and then we get into week 9, and then pretty much all of 6A, or basically all of 6A and most of 5A will have off that first week of the playoffs, and then 4A on down mostly will play unless you're in a 6 or 7 team sectional. There's a handful of those. Most of those are 8-teamers, though, and everybody gets an opportunity to play that first week of the sectional. There could be some really big games. Looking at what the brackets look like, and there's bound to be, based on what the draw is, some huge games coming that first night. So getting to some scores, and I thought I had that pulled up here, and week 8, and sorry about that, just looking through some stuff here. But yes, again, my game, very good one tonight. I would say Center Grove is a team, I think, that Eric Moore, as over the years, they want to run the ball. They want to, establish the run. And in previous years, in these more recent years, have been kind of more of a passing team at times, but also, a team that really wants to run. And they've got a lot of running backs, and a lot of them have been injured this year. But again, Jaden Biggerstaff had a really good game tonight. Kind of put the team on his back a little bit with that offensive line too. I think sometimes we shortchanged the offensive line, but they did a great job, blowing up holes and making it easier for their running backs. So yeah, going through some of the other games tonight, and there were some good ones. I was wanting to get an update on that Plainfield. So it looks like 30-20 now. Whiteland is in the lead. So Whiteland has got a 10-point lead in that one. That'd be a really good win if Whiteland can pull that one out. Some of the other games tonight. Let's take a look here. Chittard and Tri-West. Chittard won that game 42-13 tonight. So I thought that could be a problem for Tri-West to keep Chittard down. And, that proved to be the case. Really good running game that Chittard has, and unable to kind of slow them down. Looked like some good passing as well. Harrington was 13 for 18 for 146 and 2 touchdowns, all in the first half of that game for Chittard. And that was 28-7 at halftime. So Chittard rolls in that one. And again, they're ranked number 1 in Class 4A for a reason. And they go on and win that one. If you want an update on the Tigers, they are 2-2 in the bottom of the 10th. And Kyle Raleigh's about to bat. So that can't be good for the Tigers. So trying to multitask here and also follow that. I listen to about all their games, and so I'm kind of living and dying, but trying to kind of follow that and do this as well. But some other games tonight: Avon 14, Zionsville 7, Ben Davis 31, Lawrence Central 30, Bloomington South beat Brebeuf 38-7. Brownsburg beats Noblesville. That was 42-7. Brownsburg wins that one. Cecina beats Ritter 12-6. Low scoring game tonight. Cathedral went on the road at Covington Catholic in Kentucky and lost 17-10. Guerin Catholic 35. Culver Academy 21. Greenfield Central wins 24-13 over Delta. Eastern Hancock 14-6 over Shenandoah. Westfield beats Fishers. That was a game we had highlighted to watch, and that one was a 14-7. Fishers wins, or I'm sorry, Westfield wins at 14-7. Hamilton Southeastern, Franklin Central. This was kind of a surprise. I'll be curious to see what the stats looked like on that one. 38-35. HSC beats Franklin Central. Franklin 31, Greenwood 14. Covenant Christian beats Greenwood Christian 37-20. Hamilton Heights beats Tipton 26-13. Lutheran over Heritage Christian 55-20. LaPel over Jay County 42-14. So LaPel is now 8-0 on the season. Lebanon 34, Terre Haute North 6. Bedford North Lawrence in a shootout with Monrovia 31-26. B&L wins that one. Mooresville beats Martinsville 31-17. Shelbyville beats Mount Vernon 49-21. New Pal 70, Newcastle 0. Pike 46, North Central 28. Sullivan 77, Park Tudor 18. And Decatur Central beats Perry Meridian 42-0. Like I said, Whiteland Plainfield 30-20 at last check. Harrison loses to Roncalli 57-20. Roncalli wins that one. Eastern of Greentown 47, Sheridan 18. Tech 22, Shortridge 19. Cascade wins 46-0 over Southmont. Southmont was undefeated coming into that game. Terre Haute South 48, Southport 0. Indian Creek 42, Speedway 0. Triton Central 24-20 over Beech Grove. Carmel 42, Warren Central 7. Attucks 74-0 over Washington. Western Boone beats North Putnam 40-26. And Pendleton Heights 24-22 over Yorktown. So Pendleton Heights is a 7-1 team now going into week 9. So another good win there for Pendleton Heights, which has really been a strong team throughout this year. Their only loss was to New Pal. So that won all the rest of their games so far this season. We'll see if we had any other details come in here. In that Cecina game, Bryce McDonald had 198 yards. Gavin Connell had 132 rushing yards in that one. So that was Cecina scored in the second half. It was 6-6 at halftime. Cecina scored in the third quarter, and that was it. That was all the scoring in that one. Cathedral, after beating Center Grove, they came down here last week and won. And Tigers Mariners play on into the 11th inning now. But Cathedral unable to win tonight. It was 17-10. That game was out actually 17-0 going into the fourth quarter. Cathedral made a late run at it, came up a little bit short, and it looked like Cameron Kors did not play the whole game there. So hopefully he's not injured for Cathedral. But Jimmy Pappas had a big game rushing, 31 carries for 120 tonight for Pappas on the ground, but not enough as Cathedral falls. Brebeuf lost 38-7 to Bloomington South's really a good offensive team tonight. Combs had 300 yards passing in that one for Bloomington South in that win tonight. Roncalli in their win, they got up 36-7 at halftime of that one and cruised to a win there. Looking for some stats there. Jarvis had 150 on the ground. Ash had 182 passing wise. So Colin Ash, a good passing night, and also had 74 rushing yards in that one as well. So another good game for him. Franklin, Corey Tonti's had a good season for Franklin. 283 yards on the ground tonight for Franklin, 3 touchdowns in that win over Greenwood, 31-14. Brownsburg stats in theirs had don't have the overall. Looks like Oscar Fry had 144 passing, and team had 228 rushing yards for Brownsburg in that game. So it looked like a combination of Lewis, Sumter Bay, and Job all combined for that 228. That's kind of Brownsburg's, kind of their thing. All three of those guys can really lead you on any given night. It could be all three of them at times. Indian Creek won 42-7. And Evan Clark ran for a TD, threw for 2 scores in that one. So that should about cover it for now. We'll have more at IndyStar.com. Ben Davis, that was a that game worth pointing out too. Ben Davis 31-30, wild one over Lawrence Central tonight. Ben Davis had been going through kind of a tough season. That's a good win for them to get in the win column. So Ben Davis, always a team that's a traditional power, but has kind of been down this year with some younger players playing in key spots. But appreciate everybody joining me tonight. Just had the one guest tonight because Rich's game ran over. So we're gonna call it there. But stay tuned at IndyStar.com. Have lots more coverage, lots more through the weekend. We'll do our snap judgments for Sunday. If you want to send me a Player of the Week nomination, please do so. Try to get most of the scores there at the bottom line. I ran out of time before I had to get out here to the car to do the show. So a few of those are still not filled in, but tried to get quite a few of them in there at least. So, but appreciate you coming on here and joining me, and hope you have a good weekend. And we'll talk to you next time.